حي على الفلاح.
نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اجعلنا دعاة إليك وإلى رسولك. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى. ربنا يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح. فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المبين بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: والليل إذا يغشى والنهار إذا تجلى وما خلق الذكر والأنثى. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم وأنا على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Today we want to take from the fountain of guidance. We want to grasp onto and hold on to Hablum min Allah, the rope of Allah. About it Allah says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. Hold firmly to the rope of Allah. If we do not hold on to the rope of Allah, if we do not hold on to the Quran and its teachings, then we will drift and we will stray. And the currents and the tides, they will pull us and they will pull us under. We will be destroyed, Allah forbid. Our wealth, our children, total loss. So today we want to look at a surah of the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the Quran, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the explanation of Quran. And everything about Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has preserved for us. This is a blessings on top of a blessings. Other nations we know, they lost it. When we talk about the Bible or the Injil, we do not talk about what they have, the new gospel. And when we talk about the Torah, it is not what they have. And when we say we believe in the Bible or the Injil and the Torah, what we mean is that we believe about it, about its revelation, that it was revealed to Musa alayhi salam, to Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, that it is a pure and holy book and they were messengers of Allah. That is what we mean. That is what we mean. We don't mean we believe in what is presently there today, because that is not what was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we thank Allah that it has been preserved for us. Surahs of the Holy Quran, they are either termed Makki or Madani, revealed in Makkah or revealed in Medina. This means that these verses of this particular surah or the entire surah, because when surahs were revealed, ayats were revealed, sometimes a few ayats came down of a particular surah, sometimes the entire surah came down and so on. So sometimes a surah, part of it was revealed in Makkah, part of it was revealed in Medina. So surahs are termed Makki or Madani. One surah will be Makki or it might be Madani based on the amount of verses. When the majority of the verses were revealed in Makkah, we say Makki. The majority of the verses in Medina, we will say Madani. Okay, so this is one classification of the surahs of Quran, Makki or Madani. But what it means is, when we say Makki, we mean it was revealed before Hijrah, not necessarily in Makkah itself or in its environs. And when we say Madani, we mean that it was revealed after Hijrah, even though the verse was revealed in Makkah. So the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam went on a journey, he came for Umrah or during the Treaty of Hudaybiyah and so on, and verses were revealed, the conquest of Makkah, ayahs concerning that, even though those verses were revealed in Makkah, but they will be considered Madani, Medinan verses, if they were revealed after the Hijrah. The criterion therefore being whether the verse was revealed before Hijrah or after Hijrah. Hijrah, it is one of the most important journeys in the history of mankind. And especially for us, that is why the Islamic calendar is dated from the Hijrah, not from the birth of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like how the Christians date their calendar from the birth of Isa alayhi salatu wassalam. In addition to a surah being Makki or Madani, that has some meaning, that has some relevance. Because the themes of the surahs or verses that were revealed before Hijrah, we calling them Makki, the themes of these surah, it is different. Those surahs, those ayats of Quran, they talk about Qiyamah, talk about the oneness of Allah, the greatness of Allah, Iman, the building of Iman, and of belief. Belief that you're going to die, that you're going to rise, that there are angels recording your deeds. These are the themes. There are specific words that are only used in those Makki verses. Like Kalla. Anytime you hear Kalla, those verses were revealed in Makkah. So the themes of the verses that were revealed and surahs that were revealed in Makkah, before Hijrah that is, it is pointing and it deals with a certain type of subject matter. It addresses and it calls the people towards Iman. And then those that are Medina deals more with laws, rules and regulations, because it is from that point on that the Muslim community is going to be built. I am mentioning these things because there's a very, very unique surah. Unique in the sense that some scholars say it is Makki. If you look in some Qurans, according to Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala, it is a Makki surah. According to other scholars, they say that it is a Madani surah. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala, he says it is a Madani surah. This surah, it has in it verses that were the last set of verses to be revealed before Hijrah. And it also contains verses that were the first set of verses to be revealed after the Hijrah. Unique surah. So for example, we know that the first verses were revealed are what surah? The first 5 ayahs in surah? Surah Iqra, Surah Ala. Okay? What number? 96. It should be 96. Or 92. I usually confuse the 2 and the 6. So then that is the first ayahs that were revealed. Iqra Bismillah in the cave of Hira. Then you have the first complete surah that was revealed. That's what? First complete surah. Surah Fatiha. Right? Complete surah. Surah Ala with Iqra Bismi Rabbika Alladhi Khalaq. Just the first 5 ayahs are that is what was revealed in the cave of Hira. So, this particular surah, it was the closing off, like the summary, of those Makki ayats. And it has in it the prelude or the introduction to the Madinian period. Closes off that stage, opens up that stage. The verses of this surah, what it does as well, what surah it is? Which surah? I didn't mention it yet. We're getting there. So, the verses of this surah, one of the objective of it was to prepare the society of Medina, this new society, which will be the society that will springboard the cause of Islam, that will take it forward. The objective of these verses was to prepare that society for the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his coming. Because the message in those first verses was of such a nature that it had to fix up the society and bring it to the level, one, to accept the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it had to develop the society in such a way and bring it to that level that it is not distasteful to say that the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is living amongst them. It had to be where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared the community in a particular way so that nobody would look down upon them. Had to shine them up and clean them. Like a guest coming to your home, you will make some kind of preparation. And that preparation will suit the status of that guest. This surah was to prepare the community of the Ansar. They already had shining qualities, the Ansars. They were helpers, they were good at heart, they were very nice people. But there was something in their society that if the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was to be amongst them and say, this is my community, then it will be a tarnish on him and on the mission that he had to carry out. You all following? Let's say I had to set up a headquarters somewhere here in Trinidad for some Islamic mission and so on. I will not choose such a locality where the people are kidnappers and robbers and so on, because that will reflect on what I am doing. It will not augur well with the people that I have to talk with. You all getting the point? I want us to understand this, to understand the value of the message of this surah, because we have no value for it. That is the problem. We don't see it as anything important. We think of it as secondary and it's not a problem. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose that these ayats be the first ayats that were revealed for the building of the Muslim ummah. That this has to be in order. If this is not in order, we can't go forward. Nothing can happen. So, you tell me, what topic would these ayats address? Close off that Meccan period, where Allah was talking about Iman, about the day of judgment, about correcting your belief and so on. The message of Islam is going to go into another stage now. This is where we are going to develop the community. This is where you have to shine to be that example. What do you think that message will be? What they have to put in order to go forward? What? Well, character is a big thing, huh? Okay. Anything? So this is the 83rd surah of Quran. Okay? The surahs before this and the surahs after this, in Shiqaq and so on, all of these surahs, their main theme is of Qiyamah. This is the 83rd surah of Quran. Tatfif. Anybody ever hear that surah? Tatfif? Anybody ever heard of that surah? Surah Tatfif. This is one of its names. Okay? It's also called Surah Mutaffifin. You all heard of Mutaffifin? How it goes? How it starts? Wailul lil Mutaffifin. There are other surahs that we know, the verses that has the same word, while. What other surah we know starts like that? Wailul likulli humazatil lumaza. What again? Huh? No, that's wallayli, not wallayli. Right? Wallayli means talks about the night there. The next surah has Wailul lil Musallin. Right? So these are some other surahs that have that same phraseology in it. So Allah says, Wailul lil Mutaffifin. The Mutaffifin are those who give short measure. But I want to explain the word while. Various commentaries have different explanations, and hadith of the Rasul also mentions that while is a valley in Jahannam between two huge mountains. So you're in a pit inside a pit. Jahannam is already a pit of fire, but you're between two mountains and down inside there. While is also used to show stern warning. Wailul lil mutaffifin. Woe to those who give short measure. But not, short measure is just the English terminology of it. Mutaffifin are, and then Allah mentions and explains, who are the mutaffifin? Those who give short measure. They are alladina idha ta'alu ala nasi yastawfun. They are those when they are taking measure from other people. People weighing for them. Means they're going to buy. When they are buying, when people are weighing for them, Yastawfoon. They're checking, making sure it's correct. Let me see the scale, eh? Come, they're eager, put a little more. They want to get correct weight. When? إِذَا اكْتَالُوا عَلَى النَّاسِ. When they are weighing and measuring in relation to people giving them. وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُوهُمْ يُخْسِرُونَ. And when they are weighing for others, when they're selling now, يُخْسِرُونَ, they're giving them short measure. There was one person in Medina, I mentioned to you, that this surah was revealed as these were the first few ayats. These first few ayats were revealed on some scholars say on the way to Medina, some say in Medina. But Allah wanted to fix this aspect of their society, how they weigh and how they measure. There was one person amongst them, he had 2 scales. Yeah. When he's selling, bring out that one. Or when he's buying, say, oh, come on, have a scale, we'll wait here. Using this one. 2 scales he had. Physically, we don't have 2 scales, physically. But here and here, it had 2 scales. One for me and one for you. We also have 2 scales. Don't laugh at him, no? Don't laugh at him at all. We have 2 scales too. Double standards. But I don't call it double standard. One standard, my standard. And for you, no standard. It's not a double standard. There's only one standard. One standard for who? Me. I must get my weight. My money have value. But when you come and you are purchasing, that kind of man, this society is called a smart man. I don't understand how they come. I don't understand the logic there. I don't understand what makes him smart. That is not smartness. Where you as a society considers the person who can rob somebody as smart. He's not smart. He's not intelligent. Because إِنَّمَا يَأْكُلُونَ فِي بُطُونِهِمْ نَارًا. All he is doing is eating and putting in his stomach fire. That is a smart man. Eating fire. What he robs you of is of no benefit to him. That will be the means of his downfall. He feels he gains. But he's only what? Lining up snake to beat him, to bite him. He's only what? Kindling fire that will burn him. Putting fire in his belly. That is not a smart man. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the society of the Ansars, they had this issue. Every society has their issue, their problem. Some is racialism, some is gangsterism. Everybody, every society, they have their thing about them. This was one of the issues of the Ansars. However, in Bukhari, there is the chapter of Kitabul Iman that to love the Ansars is part of Iman. We are mentioning this not to feel any way about them, but to learn from the experience. Allah wanted to fix this aspect of them. The aspect and the problem that they had was that they used to give short measure. Short measure. That when, remember, they are farmers, they are planting dates and so on. They are selling dates, buying and selling. Allah wanted to fix this. And this is the problem that we have. We have not extended the understanding of our Islam to cater for this. That this is part of our deen. If we do not understand that courtesy, simple courtesy for others, is an integral element of this deen, then we have shortchanged Islam. Giving people shortchange, it can even be applied to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yastawfoon here and mutaffifin. Shortchanging is not just about kilograms and liters and $10 and $15. Once Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he saw a person who was not bowing in his ruku, making his ruku properly. Halfway, go down and let like a rubber ball, bounce up back. Not staying. It is compulsory to stay in the compulsory postures for a certain period of time. You have to stay there and then move. You can't bounce in the posture and come out. So he said, you are doing tatfif. Tatfif is shortchanging. He said, you are doing, with who? Tatfif and giving the correct measure means and entails that we give what is due. As far as weights are concerned, as far as volume is concerned, as far as change is concerned, as far as rights are concerned. We cannot shortchange Allah. What is due to Allah is a proper bowing, a proper sajda, a proper wuzu, a proper approach. That we don't shortchange Allah. Give Allah the reverence, honor, and respect that that is due to Him. It means fulfilling the rights of people. We want that our rights be fulfilled. We must also be more particular about fulfilling the rights of others. This is the deen. This is the deen that we want. I saw once that there is something, if you look at it, you will say that it's a fire. People decorate their lawns, they'll decorate their verandas and so on. They'll put like the bamboo stick with a little fire in it, candlelight, flambeau. So I say, oh, what a nice fire. Well, it wasn't a fire. It was a little electric thing with some paper with the color of the fire, the red and the yellow. And when the fan blows the paper, it moves like this, so it looks like fire. That is our Islam. It has the color of Islam, it has the look of Islam, but it doesn't have the heat of the deen. The heat of the deen. If something is red and it has a shape and it's moving like this, and from a distance you look at it, or they put on a little light and it glows a little bit, we say, oh, watch fire. Or when we go close and we put our hands and there is no heat, we say, oh no, this is not fire. The Islam that we are practicing, minus the akhlaq and the character and the emotions and the feelings that we are supposed to have from inside, and the cleanliness of mind and thought, minus that, it is the Islam it's a pitya. It's just a shakal and a shape with no ruh and with no life. The life of Islam, the ruh of Islam is in the courtesies that we practice. Muslims are not supposed to have road rage. Everybody today have road rage. Well, I'm thinking, boy, how are you driving so? Like, you buy your license, cut up this one, but drive your car. Whole road, quarreling and arguing. That's not the deen. The Muslim, he's not cut up like that. Society has done that to us. We live in it, we grow up around it, so we have become this. It's time that we inherit the true ruh and the true life of the deen. It's about things like this. Giving correct weight, fulfilling the rights of others. Today, we want to reach Allah, but the ladder between us and Allah, we have destroyed it. We have destroyed the means of approach to reach Allah. For example, Allah talks about وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِاللَّهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Do not ascribe partners unto Allah, and be kind, obedient, dutiful, respectful to your parents. We don't want to be respectful to parents. We don't want to fulfill their rights, but we feel we can reach Allah. You want to know if Allah is pleased with you? Read Allahi fi read al-walidi. The pleasure of Allah is in the pleasure of your father. If your father is not happy with you, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah is not happy with you. You want to know? Huh? Do you want to know if Allah is pleased with you? Say, Daddy, you pleased with me? If he say yes, all right. If he says, well, and he starts off like that, that means no. Okay, he doesn't want to tell you straight. Check and see. That's your gauge. That's your gauge to see how much Allah is pleased. But we break that ladder. The respect that a wife is supposed to have for her husband, that ladder is broken. The love and the mercy that the man is supposed to have for the wife, that is broken. Sometimes we look at the problem, but we're not asking why. Why is that so? Why women don't want to stay in the house? Why? I recently found out that women do not want to be housewives. That's true? I get from one source, I can't get from the next source. Is that true? Anybody can verify or say yay or nay? Women want to be housewives? Huh? No, they can't hear their voice. The feedback I got is that Nobody wants to ride, in whatever form. I'm a housewife. They don't want to be why? That is not the problem, The problem is why. Why? Why don't they want to fulfill that service? To fulfill that role? Because we mess it up. We make it hard and difficult and oppressive for them. Why should they want to do it? You have to go back to the roots, go back to the problem, solve the problem where it exists. We're looking at all the problems, we're looking at our issues. We house flooded, this getting damaged, the furniture getting damaged, the electricity, and all these problems because I'm bailing out water. Stop bailing out water. Go find out where the leak is, plug the leak, and then bail the water. Because you go bail, and you go still follow back again. Plug the leaks. The leaks are right here. Right in the heart, in our understandings, in our inherited understandings of what is religion and what is the deen and what is the objective of the deen. Everything has an action or a reason and a result. A reason, an action that causes a particular result. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I want to read this hadith before time is up. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Khamsun bi khamsin." Khamsun bi khamsin. Khams is 5. 5 things when you do it, 5 things will be the result. There are 5 things, when it is done, the result will be 5. He says, who breaks his covenant, Allah will cause his enemy to subdue him. When you break your covenant, yeah boy, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll come at this time. I'll do this, I'll do that. Whatever covenant, the covenant that you have between you and that spouses have between themselves, the covenant that whatever promises, whatever actions are due upon us, when we break that, Allah will cause his enemy to subdue him. Means you will be conquered. Second, when a nation that abandons the Sharia and the laws of Allah and decides cases according to other laws, poverty will prevail commonly amongst them. When you use the laws other than Sharia, poverty. But our understanding of poverty is not that we don't have plenty of money. That is not the understanding of poverty in Islam. Fakir or a fakir, a poor person, is that person who is deprived and that he does not have access to what he needs. Sometimes, for example, a person, he has a lot of money, he has a lot of this, but he doesn't have access to it. All the money in the bank. But some riot is taking place, some flood is taking place, you don't have access to it. So, when we decide by other than the law of Allah, Allah will impose poverty. What is poverty? Lack of access. Lack of access. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can cause you not to have something, even though you have it in different ways. Allah can cause you not to have a sweetie or a chocolate by giving you what? Diabetes. You feel you have it, but what value is having it? You can't eat it. So poverty comes in different shapes and forms. When does Allah impose poverty? When we follow other than the Sharia. The nation among whom promiscuity and zina becomes rampant, Allah will punish them with epidemics and disease that were unheard of. That's Trinidad society. That's the name of Trinidad. That's what we pride ourselves with. We carnival and we this and we that. A society like that, Allah will spread. The world is like that. Allah spreads epidemics, disease that spreads, and Allah causes new disease that were not heard of before to become rampant. And those that give short measure, Allah will cause famine to break out amongst them by the curtailing of rain. Another hadith of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when it becomes rampant in a community to steal from the spoils of war, from the public treasury, Allah will cast terror of enemies into their heart. When usury or interest, riba, becomes a common practice in a community, death becomes a frequent occurrence in that society. When a community gives short measure and weight, Allah cuts off their sustenance. Those who decide against truth, means the judges and so on, you can bribe, you can grease, Greece there, always Greece, right? So things run smooth now. So when those who decide against the truth, then murder will become common amongst them. And those who betray their agreement, Allah will cause their enemies to prevail amongst them. Everything has consequences. Some things have consequence here, some things have consequence in the hereafter, some things have consequence here and in the hereafter. Like disobedience of parents has consequence here in this world and in the hereafter. Both. We have to correct our financial dealings. We have to correct our social dealings. We have to become courteous. And the surah is telling us that the things that we want, and we are taking it for granted that we want good for ourselves. We want comfort for ourselves. We want whatever we want for ourselves. It must be predominant in our heart that we want it for others. This is the non-Muslims, they don't see our salat. They're not going to see and interact with our fasting. They're not going to see our zikr. What are they going to see? Our courtesies on the road. That we are not littering. That we pass and something is there, we pick it up, we put it in the bin. These are the things that they will see. This is the light of Islam. This is the ruh of Islam that Allah wanted to instill into the Medinan society so that the people can see the benefit of the religion. And they can see the true value of the religion. Where is it seen? Our worship that we do, this is between us and Allah. Between us and Allah. Our social interactions, our trade and our transactions. It means that the employee must not shortchange the employer. How can the employee shortchange the employer? By not doing the job that he is supposed to do. By not coming late. By not wasting time. You are hired to do a particular job, you do your best. You put in your hours. Put in your hours. The employee, the one who is hiring the people, he must not shortchange his workers. Deal with them in a way that you would want somebody over you to deal. Hey, come, take up that there, but not like that. How would you want somebody, if you were in that position to talk to you, to deal with you as an employee? Deal with people in that manner. The way that we carry about ourselves, the way and our dispositions and in our interactions, and let us start at home. Let us, for too many times we are beasts and monsters in our home. We are angels on the outside. Everybody say, well, you're a real nice man and you're a good man. Like, ask and go and get the report home. Contrasting things. Like it's two different persons that you are talking about. Let it start. All the goodness, let the fountain of it, the place that it starts, the source of it, let it be your home. Let the best report be the report being given by your wife, by your mother, by your father, by your brothers and sisters. Can't be nice to everybody outside and a beast, unapproachable. Huh? Where you want to eat? I don't know. You okay? Yeah. What happened in school today? Nothing. One word answer. And as they step out the door and they meet their friends. Long conversation. Can't stop talking. And you see them jolly and like they're bubbling and happy. There's a reason for it. We have to fix the reason for it. But that is the sad reality. Let the cheer and the joy and the nice relationship, let it start at home. How to start it? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu. Give nice salam. Pretty nice, beautiful salam. This is where to start it. We'll do that inshallah? Okay. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.